Here's 5 things I learned after going through family court that I thought I knew, that I had no idea. So number 1, I thought that if you were a good dad, you were going to get 50-50. It was just automatic. This was 6 years ago. I just thought 50-50 was the norm at that point in time. Apparently it's not. Number 2, I didn't realize that you could lie about whatever the hell you wanted to lie about in court and not have any facts, findings, evidence, or anything to claim it. Almost everything in family court is all hearsay. So if the judge believes the mom, then you're screwed. If the judge believes you, well, you're still screwed because you didn't have rights in the first place. Number 3, and this was the biggest one for me. When I started calling attorneys, since I'm an unmarried father and I was never married to my ex, I literally did not have any rights to my child. Even though I signed the birth certificate, even though I signed the acknowledgement of paternity, I was nothing. I had to get into court to establish my rights. Number 4, every single dad from the past that I thought was a deadbeat because the mom said he was a deadbeat, he was a piece of shit, he didn't pay his child support, he never saw his child, I actually thought he was a deadbeat. Now looking back at it, maybe he wasn't so much of a deadbeat because this is what family court does to fathers and children. And then number 5, I did not realize there was a huge community of people, both moms, dads, men, women, grandparents, brothers, sisters, all of that there was a community of us fighting for our children to have both parents in their lives. Had no idea that there was a father's rights movement. Had no idea that there were all these organizations fighting for our children because we'd never hear about that stuff. And a lot of the time, we don't even realize this stuff is going on until we actually go through it. It's just like I said with number 4. We didn't know that he wasn't a deadbeat. We just assumed because there's so many deadbeats in the world. But is there actually that many deadbeats in the world, or is it the system that's creating the deadbeat?
I'm ready for commitment, Harry. First time I set eyes on Mary Swanson, I just got that old-fashioned romantic feeling where I'd do anything to bone her.
That's a special feeling, Lloyd.
Yeah.
What were you just saying?
That it just felt like no one was listening to me. And that I'd tell them over and over again that I was hiding in the bathroom and that I didn't want to go to the visits anymore, and it just escalated and I kept on going and going, and it got to the point that things got physical, and my mom called the cops on me, and she scratched her face and said that I attacked her when I never did, even filed battery charges on me.
I know.
After his child reached 18. I had somebody come to me recently talking about this father whose lifestyle dramatically increased after his child reached 18. And given the assumption that somehow the father did something wrong because his lifestyle increased after child support was over. I want you to think about this. That father was probably paying over 30 to 35% of his income in child support and lost tax deductions. How would your lifestyle be if 30 to 35% of your income was going to one child, and you had to pay for your housing, your car, all your other expenses on what was left over? Not to mention the fact that that person was probably passed over for raises and promotions at work because they couldn't think about work. They were thinking about how much they missed their kid every single day. So yeah, it does make sense that their lifestyle would increase when they got a 35% increase in income after paying child support. The question we have to ask ourselves is, why did he have to suffer for 18 years with such a limited amount of income that could have gone to the benefit of the child having more experiences with that parent?
I didn't date you for your money. I fell in love with your heart.
Well, then just sign the prenup and let this love story begin.
Love stories don't begin with prenups.
This one does.
Women don't need men for money.
Oh.
Statistics show single women own more houses than single men.
Yeah, from divorce.
Good morning. Do y'all know how lucky y'all bitches is for real? And shout out to y'all niggas who pay child support and then still do for the child outside the child support. The ones that get the deduction out their check, the $1,500, the $750, the $350, whatever amount. And then when you get your kid on a weekend, you're spending another band on them, $1,500 on them. Shout out to y'all niggas, because I know for a fact, if the roles were reversed, Lord Jesus help me, and women had to pay child support and then it was their weekend, they would have a fit. They would say, what the fuck I gotta pay for the child? The money from the child support should take it. Oh my God. Am I lying, y'all? Am I lying? Do you know what type of rebuttal these bitches would have? So this is why I'm here. Do you see how fucking lucky you bitches is?
I was 8 years old, my mom kicked me out of my house. I asked too many questions and I was basically stirring the pot, and then finally there was one day where she just like had enough, called my grandma, was like, if you don't come pick this kid up, I'm gonna send him to foster care. I remember like looking out the back seat of my grandma's car at my mom's house and just like my hands on the window, just like bawling my eyes out. From that point on, I lived with my grandma. And so I like fucking hated women for years because of that. And it's not like I intentionally hated women, but I was so fucking mad at my mom. And I think when you have unresolved trauma with your mom and you're fucking angry with your mom, you have unresolved trauma with feminine energy. Like your mom is the first female that you see when you come into this world. And so if you hate the first female that you see when you come into this world, how do you think you're gonna treat other females in the world if your core person that you're supposed to love the most, you have a negative relationship with? So I just sabotaged every relationship in my life because of that. Harboring anger towards someone else is only a poison that affects you.
You be alright, nigga. Tough, right?
A lot of shit pissed me off. Like we got dudes speaking on child support issues. Now, we got these dudes. They're angry. They're mad. They're upset because child support has taken up to 3%. Not up to. They'll take everything. But child support in America has destroyed more families than it has created. It has destroyed more families than it has helped. It has taken parenting away from the non-custodial to the government distributing the funds straight out the person's check to the custodial parent. This can cause a rift in co-parenting and people trying to salvage a relationship if there is something to salvage. But if the courts get involved, there will definitely be no salvaging. You can't have somebody taking 50% of your income and think that it's going to be something you could talk about after. I've been through this. I'm currently going through this. I want to fight for my kid to be back with me. But as I fight, I see funds constantly getting drawn out. When I go back into court, they tell me, well, sir, it looks like here you make more money. Well, I've been making more money because I am fighting child support. They say, oh, well, since you made more money, we have to raise your child support. Well, the only reason I was making more money, sir, is because I'm trying to offset what you're taking from me. 2,200 to be exact. I don't understand what I need to do besides try to get my kid in my custody. What aren't we, what are we discussing here? As I'm trying to state my case, I'm not a lawyer. And if you don't have a lawyer, You might get railroaded and steamed cleaned all throughout your child support hearing. When you have W-2 work and you're doing what you think you're supposed to be doing to be a productive citizen in this society, you might get beat up in court with the gavel beside your head after the judge sees how much he could take from you. He will just click up some numbers and tell you exactly how much you're now. If you have a large amount of W-2 work, you might be getting hit upside the head with some astronomical numbers that you never thought you would see before. But these numbers won't change unless custody changes. Now, if you fight in court and try to get this custody, all she has to do is say, "Oh, he works too much." Well, I've been working trying to fight what you guys been taking. Well, how many hours do you think, how many days could you, I could do, every weekend? What it takes? Well, if he fights you on that, then the situation needs to be addressed. We can't decide on anything. We need to take it to a later date, maybe get a mediator. It will keep going down the road. You will be 2 years into trying to get your kids and still not yet be able to get your kids and still be paying the same amount they awarded her without even going to court. I got her. She got awarded the same amount because the previous baby mother got rewarded an amount. One got rewarded 1,100, the other, they never had to go to court to get rewarded. The first one did, but the second one did. Now, after dealing with the courts trying to get child support uh, down or understandable, trying to go to court to get custody, draining me, constantly trying to work to actually keep up with high ass inflation. It seems that it's a circus. It's a kangaroo court. And if you choose not to participate, they have no jurisdiction over you besides taking your funds. But if you keep on hiring lawyers and fighting, the choke only gets tighter. I found in my own personal research, I was never able to do exactly what they needed me to do to get what I wanted. Arguing, fighting, and not understanding how the courts actually work will cost you tens of thousands. And then after the fighting for 2 years, they'll say, we'll just keep it all the same. Seems like it's been working so far. Why would we change anything? It's been 2 years. We've prolonged you. She said no, she said no, she said no, she said no. No, 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 no. What's the understanding? The judge trying to, well, let me get, can I have more documentation from you, sir? No, I'm not giving you more than what you already have. You already have enough. What else do I need to give you? It's whatever the judge says. It is what it is, man. Silence acceptance, and we have to like, comment, subscribe.